Good evening, students. I'm sure you all are doing great, and I'm sure you all are having a good time learning the subjects, the course that we are having at CA Interlevel. And I'm sure you all are also now finding good connect with the subjects. Now, we are virtually at the mid of this curriculum, and by now, I'm sure everyone would have also started preparing the revision part of your subject. So not only studying the new topics, but at the same time, also you would have started for the revision planning. Kindly do that because equal to studying new topics, it is equally important that we are also keeping ourselves updated and keeping ourselves in touch with whatever has already been done so that it shouldn't happen that in the haste of taking up the new part, we miss out on the earlier parts, right? So I welcome you all once again and let us have this beautiful evening for once again a very interesting and important deliberation on the topic of supply. So yes, very good evening, Rashmi, Sridhar. Good evening, Just, Regan, Satish Kumar, Rishabh, Maithili, Aditya. Yes, Vanakkam, Jash, Akash, Vanshika, Kargapriya, Virashri, Ananya, Anushka, Lavanya, sorry. Yes, Satish, Deepak, Shahid, Pavan Kumar, Ashok, Arthur, Yamunashri, Rajeshwari, Astha, Anjum, Harsh, Lohit, Nikunj, Mustafa, Tamanna. Yes, very good evening. Balia Patro, Tia Sumi, Ankur, Diksha, Kashish, Hemin, Karan, Manisha, everyone, very good evening and welcome all of you all to our GST topic and in that the topic of supply. Before I start discussing at my end, let me first have inputs from your side. We studied a very important, a very interesting topic relating to the basics of GST. Along with that, we discussed the constitutional amendments relevant to GST. And along with that, I gave you some very important pointers about the ideology about GST, the ills which were happening in the previous laws to overcome which you had the GST law. And that also connected us to various conceptual part of GST. So if anybody has any queries, question in any of that part, let me know so that I'll first take up your queries question and then we will proceed to discussing further topics. Yes, Manisha, Karan, Soumya, Vaishnavi, Ankur, no worries, even if it is your first class, each chapter is an independent chapter. Yes, good morning. Good evening. Yes, Satish Kumar, no problem. Yes, Ankita, good evening. Sure, let me know your doubts, students. Anybody having any doubts, please let me know before I launch my conceptual part or I take up you to this new interesting part, which is supply. Students, let me know your queries, your doubts. Even if it is pertaining to the previous chapter, it is fine. Even if you have studied this chapter and there is something which you want me to clarify, that is also fine. So yes, Tell me anything in the conceptual part which is not very clear to you. Yes, no queries. So you want me to myself start? Okay. So then let that be the case. I will take this topic from here, the topic of supply. Okay, so now I have questions. Gargi, it is live. So whatever is your question, you can ask me live. Purav is asking an important question. Sir, when there is already a customs duty on import, then why is there a GST? Or vice versa, if there is GST, then why is there separately customs duty? See, importantly, you have to understand that every act has its own charging section. Now, when I say charging section, it is that section which tells you on what event or on what transaction we want to levy our tax. Now, if let us say I am the Customs Act, for me, my charging section is import of goods. And if I'm GST, my charging section says we will levy GST on supply, which is our today's topic. Now, interestingly, whenever you are importing goods, both acts, taxable events are getting triggered. Since you have imported the goods, import is the taxable event for customs, so Customs Act gets attracted. Since this transaction is of purchase sale, somebody has sold the goods to you and you are purchasing it, hence it is also covered under supply. So because of this, it is both act being applicable at the same time parallelly. And there's nothing wrong. Constitution permits this. It does not allow double taxation in the sense that for same activity, you cannot charge the same tax twice. But either if the activities are different or if the taxes are different, you are allowed to levy the taxes. Hence, Purav Beda, for import of goods, despite of having customs, we are still having IGST and vice versa. Sandeep saying, sir, will we get notes available in web portal? See, all these modules which are there are already hosted by the ICAI on the portal. Whenever I'm using any module, I'm downloading it from your portal only. So you are all having the access to this. So this module which I have downloaded for today's class is also downloaded very recently from our portal only. In fact, today itself. So all these things are available on our portal, BOS portal, and you all can avail this, right? Now, what is supply? Now, let me show you something firstly from my perspective or in my format, and then we will read what is given in the module from the acts perspective. So I was referring to this particular word when I was answering Purav's question. The word is now. There are three important terms when it comes to a taxation law. Or rather, if I can say four. Now, in order to charge a tax, in order to impose a tax, there has to be present these four things. I'll just change this last one. Tax rate and measure of value. Only when all these four things are present, then only any tax can be levied. Now here I am talking something which is applicable to income tax, which is applicable to earlier excise, earlier sales tax, earlier service tax, present GST, present customs, everything. So for any taxation law to work, see, any tax has to be first levied on you. Tax has to be imposed on you. Because until unless a tax is levied or imposed, you are not liable to pay. But how is this tax levied or imposed? So it is levied or imposed through a section which is called as the charging section. So charging section is the section which imposes the tax. Now, in the present Income Tax Act, which is 1961, this is section 4. In the Customs Act, it is section 12. In the GST, CGST Act, it is CGST, and SGST Act, it is section 9. In the IGST Act, it is section 5. Now, these are those sections of the respective acts which imposes, which levies the tax on you. Now, what is the rule given for this? In order to impose a tax, in order to levy a tax, these things should be present. What should be present? On happening or doing what the tax shall apply. So in Hindi, if I have to say, आपने क्या किया तो आप पे tax लगेगा. That is the taxable event. What will you do that will attract the tax? Then on what item, that is goods or services or what, tax will apply. So one is, first is you are doing something like you are selling. So selling is the taxable event for sales tax. But selling what? Selling goods or service or something else that will attract sales tax. So the earlier sales tax was on sale of goods. So taxable object was goods. Similarly, if I talk about earlier excise, what was the taxable event on doing what or happening of what the tax attracted? It was the manufacturing process. So manufacturing activity, manufacturing process was the taxable event, and manufacturing of what? Manufacturing of goods. Similarly, the earlier service tax, what was the taxable event? The taxable event was provision of service. So I'll just write down here taxable events. So various acts had various taxable events. So excise had manufacture, sales tax or VAT had sale. This is the taxable event and the taxable object. Here it was goods. Here it was goods. Then your octroi or entry tax was bringing inside local territory. So when you bring goods inside your local area from some other local area, that was the taxable event. And of what? Of goods. Service tax, it was provision, that is providing. Providing what? Services. Now, we have seen that in the first chapter, GST is amalgamation of 17 different taxes. Now, 17 different taxes were either of goods or of services. Yes, Aditi, please tell me.
So, in this entry tax, there's a slash, and before that, what you have written? Can you please tell?
Octroi.
I didn't.
Octroi.
Octroi.
That is the name
Okay.
of the name of the entry tax.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
There was something like works contract tax. So it was on performing the works contract service. So this is an example of different taxable objects. Now, when GST was brought in, what we had decided, that now we will make a common tax for all goods, all services, and all different activities. So prior to GST, there were 17 different laws, some of center, some of states, and some were on goods, some were on service, some were on some specific activity like works contract, etc. We wanted to make a common tax. So GST is a common tax for goods, for service, for activity. So now there is no difference under GST whether what you are doing is goods or service because we have a common tax. However, having said this, what is very important in GST is earlier there were different taxable events. So 17 taxes had 17 taxable events. Now in GST, we wanted to cover all of these. We wanted all the taxable events should be covered. So we wanted a common word. We wanted a generic word. I'm sure you all understand the meaning of generic. Generic means something which is common, which will cover everything. Now, in order to have that common word, we borrowed this word from international taxes because internationally already you had VAT or GST. So over there, they are using the word supply. So supply, if I have to give you first a general meaning before I go to the technical meaning of supply. So if you manufacture, that is also a supply. If you sell, that is also a supply. If you bring inside a local territory, that is also a supply. If you are providing or performing any activity or service, that is also a supply. So all these taxable events now have a common term called as supply. Many times, for simple understanding of students, I simply say supply in Hindi as sub. So all the earlier taxable events, all are now covered in one word, that is supply. So sub pay apply is supply, correct? Diksha is asking, new income tax bill will be covered under this session. Is our this batch for assessment year 27-28? If yes, or tax year 26-27? If yes, then income tax bill will be covered. I need to check that. Customs duty credit not available, no Rashmi. So new income tax bill will be covered. I've already answered this. Rashmi, supply, goods, service consideration, and INT course of further. Yes, correct. Do we need to study the sections under which levy comes? Yes, at least for the present laws, you need to study. How do I pronounce your name, Bida? Amalna. GST sum up all the other on one supply definition. Okay, fine. So, in simple words, the taxable event over here under GST was supposed to be such an activity which covered all the previous laws activities. So we decided to use this word supply, which is also used in international taxes, from where we are borrowing the GST concept. So supply in simple word means sub pay apply. What is sub? All the earlier taxable events are covered in this one word supply. This is the generic meaning of the term supply. However, when you come to the GST law, now remember students, whenever I'll use this word GST law, I will mean CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST, all acts and rules. For referring to these things, commonly I'll use the word GST law. If I have to refer to one of these acts, I'll use the word act or rules. But when I'm saying law, it means I'm talking generic about the entire GST. Now, in GST, only this act defines supply, and IGST Act borrows the definition from the CGST Act. It means we will study the IGST Act, you'll realize that IGST Act is very small. There are very less number of sections, but all the provisions or majority of the provisions what you study in CGST Act will apply to IGST Act, because there is one section, section number 20 of the IGST Act, which borrows majority of the section of CGST Act to IGST Act. That is why IGST Act is very small, because by writing one section number 20 in the IGST Act, they have virtually borrowed all sections from CGST Act, so they need not repeat it. Now, I am in the CGST SGST Act section, and The section which explains the concept of supply in the Act is Section 7. Now, let me tell you, we are not studying SGST Act because it is respective states SGST Act, Maharashtra SGST Act, Tamil Nadu SGST Act, Goa SGST Act, Karnataka SGST Act, or Assam SGST Act, or Delhi SGST Act. We are not studying that. But let me tell you, whatever you are studying in CGST, it is replica in SGST with some minor changes. Now, Section 7 of the CGST Act, SGST Act, defines what is supply. But the interesting part is, now this is what is the technical meaning. So what is the general meaning? Supply in general means covering all these activities which were the charging section, which were the taxable event of the old laws. They are all covered in one single word, supply. This is the general meaning, just for your understanding. So what is supply? Supply is sub pay apply. So all the earlier taxable event, manufacture, import, everything is covered in one word, supply. But now we have to understand this legally, technically. So to understand it legally, technically, we go to Section 7. Now, to understand supply in Section 7, we have to follow some steps. We have to first understand what is not a supply. Because interestingly, the Act is not only telling you what is supply, it is also telling you what is not supply. So what is not supply is one which is covered in Schedule 3 of our CGST SGST Act. So Schedule 3 covers a list of what is not supply. Now we need to first understand what transactions the lawmaker do not want to tax under GST. So the transactions they do not want to tax, they have kept it in Schedule 3. Further, what is supply? This is defined in Section 7 bracket 1A, which is the general meaning of supply. Then under Section 7 bracket 1 clause AA clause B, which is special meaning of supply. And again under Section 7 bracket 1 clause C, which is deemed supply. And to understand this, you have to study Schedule 1. So what is not supply is Schedule 3. What is supply is these 3 points. Now, interestingly, what is not supply will also mean what is not covered in this definition. So one, there is a specific list, what is not supply, which is Schedule 3, plus 2. So what is not supply is also what is not covered. Covered where? In the definition or meaning of supply. And then once you have decided that, okay, because of any of these 3 categories, my transaction is a supply, then we have to decide the classification. Classification is what? Whether it is supply of goods or whether it is supply of services. To do this, again, you have to refer Schedule 2. So total, there are 3 schedules only in the entire Act, and all the schedules 1, 2, 3, we are going to study in this chapter itself. But let me first make things clear. So whenever you want, because now see what I'm explaining to you is not required theoretically only. It is more required practically. Practically does not mean solving. Solving will come in later chapters. Practically here means you will be given case studies, you will be given an example, you will be given a story, and in that story you will be required to decide or to explain whether it is a supply or not. Now, whenever any transaction is given, for example, I'll give you a very simple transaction. You go to the market, you buy a laptop. So you have purchased a laptop. Whether this transaction of sale of laptop by the shopkeeper to you is a supply or not. How will you identify? So this is step one. Step one, check if it is fitting in the no supply list, which is schedule 3. If it is not fitting in the no supply list, go to step 2. So it is not excluded from supply. So now come to step 2. Step 2 is whether it is fitting in one of the concepts of supply. Your answer is yes, it is fitting in the general meaning of supply. If yes, then you go to step 3. Okay, so now once it is supply, let me find out whether it will be called as supply of goods or supply of service. So your process or your steps to determine whether your transaction is supply. How will you determine this? What are the steps? Step 1. Step 1, your answer should be no. What is no? Step 1 is whether it falls in negative list. Negative list is what is the no supply list given in schedule 3 plus notifications. The answer is no. It is not falling in the negative list. Then go to step 2. Whether it falls in definition of supply, which is under section 7.1 and plus wherever required schedule 1. If the answer to this is yes, then you go to step 3. Step 3, I'll change the question. What is the nature? Whether it is supply of goods or whether it is supply of services. So this is how you have to test every transaction of your exam question. And tomorrow when you're actually doing this in your articleship and later on as a chartered accountant, this is the golden rule. If you follow these steps, you will never be wrong. So first, go to the negative list, what is not supply. Then check the definition, what is supply. And then determine what is the type of supply, whether it is supply of goods or supply of services. Correct? Anybody has any questions before I proceed? Student, just take a screenshot of this. 1 second. Anyways, I'm going to share, but just for your future reference, you can just take a screenshot of this entire part. 1 second, beta Maithili.
So step 1, you wrote schedule 3 plus what is that, sir?
Notification. Schedule 3 plus notification.
And one more doubt. Under provision, you wrote GST supply goods service activities. And that above service TG provisions are what is this?
Sorry, which part you are talking about?
Above the GST law, GST, SGST.
Sub pay apply. This.
No, sir. And just above.
Activities, goods, service, or activities.
Octroi entry tax. The next
Octroi entry tax is bringing inside the local area. So like how when you bring from another country to your country, there is custom. Similarly, when you bring, let us say, my municipal corporation is Mumbai and your municipal corporation is, let us say, Thane. So if Thane person is sending goods to Mumbai and the municipalities are different, there was local tax or entry tax.
Yes, sir. Next line, sir. Service
Tax
PG.
provision, works contract tax provision. So these were the taxable events of these earlier taxes.
Yes, sir.
Fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, Aditi Beda.
So could you please show the steps one more time? I can take a screenshot of that.
No problem. Anyways, the steps will be on your screen because now we are going to go by these steps only. So
Okay, and
every
one more
transaction
thing,
you have to
sir.
follow the steps. Yes.
So why this schedule third is here you have written negative list.
Yeah. Why? Because I explained it over here. It covers the list of those transactions which the law says we do not treat them as supply. See, it is the law who has to decide what they want to tax and what they don't want to tax, correct?
Yes.
Now, I will say कि I do not want to tax these 6 transactions. So what I can do is, one, either I can put it in the exemption list, or two, I can remove it from the definition of supply itself. So like if you remember in past also when you study different laws or different definitions, many times the
Yes, sir.
definition had a part which said excluding. So
Yes,
it
sir.
means we want to exclude these 3 things from the definition. So that is what is no supply, or we call it as a negative list. So that is a term used in our practical practice, that we call that list as negative list. It covers the names of those transactions on which the law does not want to tax. So how they do not want to tax? They have excluded it from the definition of supply.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Satish Kumar, where will we find this schedule 1, 2, 3? One is in the Bear Act. 2, in our notes also you will find. Yes, Sridhar beta, all these section numbers which I'm discussing now are very, very important. You have to learn them, the schedule numbers, the section numbers while writing. Now, a question comes, sir, how to remember? My simple funda is, every time when you are talking about that subject, that section, whenever you are reading that section, whenever you are writing that section, please make it a habit that you will write it, you will read it, you will speak about it using the section number. Now, in the initial part, what will happen? You don't remember the section number. No problem. Keep the act handy, open the act, or take a screenshot of that section number, what is what, and from there, read it. And then let us say, when I'm talking to you, I'll always say, as per section 7(1)(b, this is this. As per section 7(1)(c, this is this. Now, if I don't remember, I'll keep that in front of my eyes, in front of me as a screenshot. And from there, I will read and tell you, okay, this is as per section 7(1)(c. Okay, this is as per section 7(1)(a, like this. When I do it twice, thrice, 4 times, reading it again and again with section numbers, automatically it will be learned. Samiran, beta, I'm going to now explain each and every step. We are going to go to the steps only. Don't worry. Poonam is saying, sir, I'm unable to take class on Zoom due to network issue. I watch your classes live on YouTube. Can you please tell the technical team member to please share the link of WhatsApp or Telegram with me? Yes. So Poonam beta, the technical team, once they read this message, you will get it here. So just be connected. Acha, if you're not in my Zoom class, because you have put me message in my Zoom class, so you will get it. Get the point here. If you're not getting, you may contact them. See in our this attendance list, you have our technical support, Manish ji there. You can put him a direct message. He will send you the link, beta, the WhatsApp and the Telegram link. Fine. So students, allow me to now take you to the act, because when I take you to the act, you'll understand this better. So see, I'm not going in the sequence of the act or in the sequence of the module, but I'll come back to the relevant part and discuss everything. Now, what we are going to study in detail is section 7(1), read with all the 3 schedules. Now, besides this, there is something which is important, which is section 8, that I will take up later, maybe along with supply or maybe along with the next chapter. Don't worry, we will complete it. But what is relevant to understand supply is section 7, that is meaning and scope, and the 3 schedules, right? Now, see, this is the main section. Now, I'll just give you an overview of the section because I'm not going to go in the act sequence. So section 7 heading is meaning and scope of supply. So as you can understand from the heading itself, it will tell you about what is supply and what is included or not included in supply, which meaning the scope. Now section 7 bracket 1. This has clause A, clause AA, clause B, and clause C. All these 4 clauses are basically defining as to what supply includes. Correct? So I go back to my handwritten part. Please now pay attention so that you understand the whole this framework. So see, what is supply means what is included in supply is covered in these section 7 bracket 1 in clause A, then AA, B, and C. All these 3 together or all these 4 together make up what is included in supply. So it will tell you what supply is. Correct? Now, I'm not reading it now because this is our step 2. Then you come to subsection 2. What does subsection 2 says? In spite of. Now somebody had asked me a question, this is, sir, what is the meaning of notwithstanding? So I'm reading it as in spite of. So in spite of anything given in subsection 1. So what subsection 1 gave? Subsection 1 gave you the meaning of supply, what is included in supply. Now this is the negative part. What it says? Clause A says activities, transaction which are mentioned where? Schedule 3 or certain activities which are given in the notification. Notification is given by whom? Both these, one given in schedule 3 and one given in notification, they shall be treated neither as supply of goods nor as supply of service. So what is this? This is the no supply point. So section 7.2 tells you what will not be supply. Please understand. 7.1, what is supply? 7.2, what is not supply. So see here I have given schedule 3, what is not supply. This you are getting from section 7 bracket 2. Now from where it is covered, section 7.2 has 2 things. One is schedule 3, which is 7.2a, and some notifications 7.2b. But basically 7 bracket 2 covers what is not supply, what is not considered as supply, or in very simple words, what is excluded from supply, right? Wow, Purav is asking a good question. He, sir, whether over the years of practice, does all the law get saved in the memory with section, subsection? Purav, for that you have to take efforts. Now, if you see, whenever I am teaching you laws like income tax, GST, I'm telling you or teaching you with section numbers, even subsection numbers, clause numbers. So it has got saved in my memory. And let me tell you, beta, I am not at all super computer type students like many of you are. I'm not a scholarly student. During my school days or even during my academic days, I was not known as a scholarly student. But with this simple habit of repeating the section numbers every time, it gets fitted in your memory permanently. And that is why you see wherever I'm talking about the law, I make it a point. I use the section numbers either orally also, or wherever I'm writing, I'll use the section number in writing. This is for my revision. This is for my consolidation, right? The same thing I've started with the new Income Tax Act also, because old Income Tax Act, I can tell you the section numbers upfront, but new income tax, I'm still learning. So it is, you can say you and me both will be learning the section numbers of the new Income Tax Act together. The only difference is I make it a habit. I always talk about the section by referring the section number. So I always refer the section numbers every time I'm talking about that law. This is how it gets automatically saved in your memory. So what is not supply is given in section 7.2. 7.2a says a list is given in schedule 3. 7.2b says also another list is given in various notifications. So by referring to schedule 3 and notifications, you will get to know what is not supply, correct? And by referring section 7.1, you will get to know what will fall in supply. So this is what is excluded from supply. This is what is included in supply. Now, once you have decided what is included or excluded from supply, the next part is step 3 is classification. What it says, subsection 1A, where certain activities or transaction constitute a supply in accordance with provisions of subsection 1. It means now you have decided that it is a supply. They shall be treated either as supply of goods or supply of service as referred to in Schedule 2. So Schedule 2 will decide whether to refer it as supply of goods or supply of service. Same thing is given in subsection 3. Subject to provisions of 1, 1A and 2, government may on recommendation of council specify by notification the transactions that are to be treated as supply of goods but not supply of service, or supply of service but not supply of goods. In short, both these sections 7.1a and 7.3 tells you about classification. So how to determine whether your transaction is supply of goods or supply of service, that is for classification, you have to refer section 7.1a plus section 7.3. Section 7.1a asks you to go to Schedule 2. 7.3 says again we will have notifications through which we will tell you whether that transaction is supply of goods or supply of service. So students, please first understand how the entire section 7 is to be studied. So first we will study the negative list part. That is, we will study notifications and Schedule 3, which will tell us what is not supply. Then we will go to what is included in supply, referring section 7.1 and Schedule 1. And then we will understand what is the nature of supply, whether it is supply of goods or supply of service. Yes, Purav, so you are correct. You have to make the effort. It will not happen that initially you will be able to recall everything. But today, if you habit yourself of reading with section numbers, slowly and steadily 10%, then 25%, then 40%, then 60% sections you'll remember. Remaining what you are not able to remember, keep following the practice. You will remember things. Rashmi, sir, it means right now define supply of goods and supply of service. No, I did not get your question, beta. So Rashmi, this part, that is 7.1 and 7.3, will tell you once your transaction is a supply, now whether to call it as supply of goods or to call it as supply of service. So one is determining whether it is supply, and once it is a supply, what supply of goods or of service. That is what is classification. Fine, Rashmi? Yes, Aditi.
So in the second step, it is said that whether it falls in the definition of supply. So in that section 7.1, and which is the small a, na? There will be small a because in that in the previous thing you have told that.
Here 7.1 entire is covered, because entire 7.1, small a, double A, B, C, all are defining what is supply. So see, here I've given you detail, but here I've just given you the major section number. So entire 7.1a defines what is supply. So entire 7.1 defines supply. In that, A is general meaning, double A and B are special meaning, C is deemed supply. So here I've given you the breakup.
Okay, fine. And that that the bold A is for the schedule 2.
Capital A is for nature of supply. See, this is subsection 1A. See, understand the difference. This 1A is in the same bracket. So this is subsection 1A, and this is subsection 1, and then another bracket, that is clause A. So it is different. This is subsection 1,
clause is different in subsections.
See, look at here. See, this is section 7. Section 7 has subparts. So main section, then subparts. What are the subparts? 1, 1A, 2, and 3. Now within subsection 1, you have further subparts of subsection. See, here also our module has written subsection. So subsection 1. So subsections are 1, 1A, 2, 3. And within every subsection, there may be subparts which are called as clause. So within subsection 1, you have A, double A, B, and C. Within 1A, you have nothing. Again, within 2, you have two clauses A and B. Again, within 3, you have two clauses A and B. So 3 is subsection, and A and B are further subparts of that subsection.
Okay. So, sir, where this subsection 3 is?
This is subsection 3. And it is about talking about what is the nature, whether it is supply of goods or supply of service.
So the same thing is talking in the subsection 2 also?
No. So subsection 3 and 1A both are talking the same thing. What? Nature of supply, whether goods, service. Now what is the difference? 1A says go to schedule 2, 7.3 says go to notification. That is the only difference. Why they are given in two different.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you, sir.
This may appear technical to you all, but I'm purposefully telling you this because, as I said, now with repetition, with hammering, it will get through, right? Yes, Rashmi. Yes, Josh.
Yes, sir. As seven subsequent one capital A defined कि whether the
नेचर क्या है उसका? वो सप्लाई ऑफ
distribution
गुड्स है या सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विस है? 7 कैपिटल
पर ये शेड्यूल 2 में डिफाइन है, पर शेड्यूल 2 में जैसे आप बताए कि नोटिफिकेशन के थ्रू बताया जाएगा, मतलब अभी तक
नहीं नहीं
डिफाइन
नहीं
नहीं
नहीं नहीं
हुआ।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, आप मिक्स कर रहे हो। दो अलग अलग चीजें, शेड्यूल 2 अलग है और नोटिफिकेशन अलग है। दोनों में अलग अलग चीजें हैं, बोथ आर डिफरेंट। तो दो जगह पे
ये
बताया गया है। शेड्यूल 2 में अलग से बताया गया है और नोटिफिकेशन में अलग से बताया गया है। सी, दो अलग अलग लिस्ट है।
शेड्यूल
एक एक्ट में दी है, एक्ट में जो लिस्ट दी है उसका नाम है शेड्यूल 2, और एक दूसरी लिस्ट है जो नोटिफिकेशन में दी है। समझ में आया?
ओके सर, ओके ओके,
सुनो ना,
थैंक यू।
अभी फिलहाल सिर्फ इसको देख लो, ये क्या है। ये जब मैं उस पर जाऊंगा तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा। अभी आप वो विजुअलाइज नहीं कर पा रहे क्योंकि आपने आज तक कभी सेक्शन, शेड्यूल, नोटिफिकेशन देखा नहीं है। सो हैव पेशेंस, वंस आई विल गो देयर इट विल बी क्लियर।
यस सर, यस।
यस जश बेटा।
सो सर, ये जो आपने बताया, जो सबसेक्शन 1 है, 1A है, जो 2 है और 3 है, तो इसमें हमारे 3 क्वेश्चंस बन रहे हैं। मतलब जो सबसेक्शन 1 है उसमें नेचर है हमारे सप्लाई का,
नेचर मतलब
और
मीनिंग है
जो
कि
आपने
सप्लाई
डबल ए,
में क्या आएगा। तो ऐसा समझो, वन इज टेलिंग यू व्हाट इज इंक्लूडेड इन सप्लाई, करेक्ट?
जी,
आगे।
और सर सेकेंड 1A,
वन ए इज
1A,
सप्लाई कौन
1A,
सा है, गुड्स का या सर्विस का, वेदर इट
1A,
इज सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स या सर्विस।
ओके। और सर सेकेंड वाला, मतलब इसमें 3 क्वेश्चंस लिख रहा था, तो मैंने फर्स्ट वाले में लिख लिया व्हाट इज सप्लाई, और इसमें लिख दिया किस चीज का सप्लाई है 1A वाले में। अब सेकेंड वाले में आपने मुझे बताया व्हाट इज नॉट सप्लाई, दिस इज द
करेक्ट।
क्वेश्चन ना।
यस।
ओके सर। और सर थर्ड वाले में क्या लिखेंगे हम,
थर्ड में
जैसे कि
वापस वही
कुछ
है जो
क्वेश्चन
वन ए
बना
में
सकते
है। वन ए में भी क्या था कि कौन सा सप्लाई है, गुड्स का या सर्विस का, तो वन ए में भी है और 3 में भी है।
हैं। ओके सर, ओके सर,
ठीक
थैंक यू।
है।
ओके सर।
यस मैथिली।
Sir, what is the difference between schedule 3 schedule?
मैथिली नॉट ऑडिबल। जस्ट प्लीज म्यूट योरसेल्फ।
Sir, now audible, sir?
यू आर ऑडिबल बेटर।
Yes, sir. Schedule 2 and Schedule 3, what is the difference, sir? It is mentioned as treated as supply of goods or as supply of services in Schedule 2. And Schedule 3, it is treated neither as supply of goods or nor as supply of services. What is the difference between two, sir?
सी, I'll give you all a simple analogy. ठीक है? Second. See, I'm giving you an analogy. I want to teach you all about cloth. So, when I want to teach you about cloth, I have divided my topic about cloth into 3 parts. What are those 3 parts? This is the first part, which is covered in Schedule 3, which is covered in this section, which tells कि these items are not cloth. राइट? तो आप जूतों को क्लॉथ बोलोगे नहीं, आप बैग्स को क्लॉथ बोलोगे नहीं। दैट इज व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट पार्ट विच आई एम कॉलिंग इट एज नेगेटिव लिस्ट। सो आउट ऑफ योर डेली यूज आइटम्स, व्हाट इज नॉट क्लोथ्स, व्हाट इज नॉट क्लॉथ, मैंने पहला लिस्ट वो दिया है जिसमें मैंने शूज, बैग्स, पर्सेस, ग्लासेस, मोबाइल फोन, इन सबको मैं कहाँ लिखूंगा? आई विल पुट इट इन दिस लिस्ट सेइंग व्हाट दिस इज नॉट क्लॉथ। करेक्ट? अंडरस्टूड? देन आई हैव to define what is cloth. So I have defined what is cloth. तो मैं कहूंगा जो आप पहनते हो, जिसका आप हैंकी यूज करते हो, जो आपको अच्छा दिखने में काम में आता है, this is what is cloth. So this is what I am defining or explaining here. And then in the third part, once you have understood कि okay, इन चीजों को क्लॉथ बोलते हैं, इनको नहीं बोलते हैं, आप जिन चीजों को क्लॉथ बोलते हैं फिर वो कौन सा क्लॉथ है, whether it is a cotton cloth, whether it is a silk cloth, whether it is a printed cloth, whether it is made of malmal. So what is the nature of cloth, right? Are you getting this, Maithili? Three parts of supply. Maithili, have you understood now my explanation about supply? Sir, it means right now, Diksha sir, BCom में मैंने GST पढ़ा है पर I am able to learn sections. Don't worry, BCom में sections की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, पर अभी पड़ेगी. Under which article section 7 included? Section 7 is as per article 246A, but actually says every section does not have an article. The act is as per article 246A, so everything in the act is as per article 246A. Sridhar beta, every section will be explained in detail. Allow me to go to the details of every section. You'll understand everything. Charan, 7(2)(b) tells the activities or transactions are under schedule 3, which means not a supply. Correct. Sir, I will, yes, you will understand better. Don't worry. But the example which I gave right now, please understand that. What is my example right now? I want to teach you what is cloth. So I've divided into 3 parts. So out of your daily items that you are using, I am giving you firstly a list that these items are not cloth. They will not be treated as cloth. So in that I will cover sunglasses, I will cover your purse, I will cover your mobile phone, and I will cover in all those items in the list which is not to be treated as cloth. Then in the second part, I will try to define what cloth is, how cloth is. That is what is the second part. And then third part, whatever I have defined that these things are cloths. Now, what is the type of cloth? Whether it is cotton cloth, whether it is silk cloth, whether it is malmal cloth, whether it is terracotta, whether it is synthetic, that is what is nature of cloth. Fine? Yes, Diksha.
Sir, can you glorify the meaning of the special meaning of supply and deemed supply?
Beta, so when I will go to that topic, definitely I'll do, na? I'm going now by these
Okay,
steps.
sir.
Every step I'm going to explain now. I'm going to read out every list, the negative list, then special list. So it will get covered.
Okay,
Fine.
sir.
Allow me that. Be patient till then. Yes, Harshal.
Hello, sir. Hello, I'm audible, sir.
You're audible. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. My question is Schedule 7, 3. In that given clause A and B are both are vice versa, no?
Vice versa means what, beta?
Means one opposite to another.
No, beta, it is complementary.
Okay.
It is
sir.
C. I am saying that this will be cotton, so it will not be terracotta. And in B, I am saying, so this will be terracotta, so it will not be cotton. It is like this. Correct?
Okay, sir.
Yes, Aditi.
So, by notification, you mean that the government gives us a kind of a list of these all things, that what is the supply and everything
Yes.
in
So
a
this is all list.
notification form.
This is all list. Some lists are given in the schedule, some lists are given in the notification.
So the government notifies this.
Yes. So that is what is the difference, where I'm putting something in the act. Who has made the act? Who has passed the act? Parliament. So
Yes.
what I wanted to make it more permanent, more long term, I'm putting it in the act. What I have to
Okay.
make it short term, which can be changed every now and then, I'm putting in notification. Notifications
Okay.
are given by government.
Okay.
Government works 24/7, 365 days, whereas Parliament works only in sessions. Like right now, we will now start the budget session. But till now, the Parliament was not functioning after the winter session. After this budget
Yes.
session, again for 2-3 months, there will be no Parliament working. We will directly have Parliament in the monsoon session. So
Yes, sir.
Parliament makes the law, works in sessions. So whatever is long term, what we want to continue for a longer period of time, we make part of the act. So it is part of schedule 1, 2, 3. What we want to
Okay.
keep it short term, which can be changed now and again, that is part of the notification.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Both are list only. So there are 2 lists.
Okay.
Let us say one is permanent list and one is list which can be changed again and again.
Yeah,
Understood?
that is notification. Okay, got it, sir.
Super. And you're right, notifications are passed by government and acts are passed by the Parliament. Chalo then. Now we will start with our steps. And my step is first knowing what is not a supply. Now, what is not a supply? For this, the section is 7 bracket 2. So you can call it as section 7 subsection 2. What it says, notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1. तो subsection 1 कुछ भी बोल रहा है उसको भूल जाओ क्योंकि subsection 1 define कर रहा है supply क्या है. But subsection 2 is overriding. It is superseding subsection 1. Why? Because it starts with this word notwithstanding. So since it says कि 1 में कुछ भी दिया हो उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ वो ज्यादा सुपीरियर है. दैट इज व्हाई आई एम स्टार्टिंग विद सबसेक्शन 2 फर्स्ट. व्हाट सबसेक्शन 2 सेज, दो लिस्ट है, एक शेड्यूल 3 में जो अभी हम पढ़ेंगे और एक नोटिफिकेशन में. ये दोनों लिस्ट में जो भी ट्रांजैक्शंस दिए हैं, these transactions shall be treated. So whatever transactions you are going to study, these two lists, one is in schedule 3 list and one is in notification, they will be treated neither as supply of goods nor as supply of service. In short, we call them as the negative list. In short, we call them as those transactions which are excluded from the definition of supply. In short, we will call them as no supply list. Means those transactions जिसको tax नहीं लगाना है because there are no supply. Is this clear to all? Yes, Satish Kumar. That is why I gave the cloth example. Rashmi, let us wait. I think you'll understand. Don't worry. Allow me some time. As we proceed, you'll understand. Kambira, it is not fully correct. Neither what you said is wrong. So let me go there. Na? When I go to schedule 1, I'll go to 7.1c. We'll discuss that. Right now, I'm on what is no supply. So I'll use my database instead of scrolling the module because that will be slightly cumbersome for everyone, continuously shifting up and down. But you can open this from your module also. So I'm opening the Bare Act, not this one. I will open my other Bare Act. So students, this is called as the Bare Act. Bare Act means the original act as it is. Now this act gets updated after every amendment. So I am right now referring the last updation by our institute, which is in November 25. And after this budget, we'll have another updated act. Now, this act or this publication is available free on our portal. You can download it if anybody wants to refer the Bare Act. Now see how the act is. So we are reading CGST Act. We are not going to read SGST because it is state-wise different. But as I said, whatever you are reading in CGST, it is same in SGST, right? So you need not read respective states SGST, but yes, definitely you should once read your respective states SGST at least once. But for exams, you need not read. So this is the entire act. As you can see, the act is divided into chapters, and every chapter has few sections which are falling in that particular chapter. So the CGST Act in total has 174 sections. So the last section is 174. Besides that, you have schedules. So we have only 3 schedules, schedule 1, 2, 3. All of these 3 will be covered in this topic of supply itself. Then besides that, you have the CGST rules. Now for all provisions of the Act, you have complementary rules. What is the difference? Act tells you what is to be done. Rules tells you how it has to be done, what is the format, what are the forms. So rules basically gives the procedural part. So what you're reading in the Act, same thing is there in the rules, but rules are giving the procedural part. Now in our module, beautifully, our BOS has combined both things at one place. Otherwise, see, when we as professionals have to read, we have to read from the Act separately and from the rules separately. So we have to refer 2 things at the same time. Many times we keep 2 books open. In one book, we keep the Act open. In the other book, we keep the rules open, and then we refer both. But what has been done beautifully by our institute in this BOS material, what is there uploaded, and you are also getting the printed material. they have brought things together. So chapter 1, if they are covering, let us say, registration in one chapter, so the section of registration, and immediately along with section, the relevant rule. So it helps you understand the whole subject better. Correct? Then see, you have the IGST Act. Now, IGST Act is covered in very less number of pages. Why? Because I told you, sorry, these are the IGST rules, not Act. This is the IGST Act. So IGST Act is hardly having how many sections? So it is having only 25 sections. But this section is very important. This is I was referring to. So majority provisions what you study in CGST Act have been adopted in the IGST Act using section 20. So section 20 of IGST Act says application of provisions of CGST Act. So automatically out of that 174 provisions, majority of the provisions gets automatically copied and applicable here. And then you have the UTGST Act, which we will not be referring to, which is it is not very relevant. Compensation to States Act is also not relevant. We will also not be referring to this, but this is my Bear Act, so it covers everything, right? And then this was by the previous year's Finance Act, that is budget. This year's Finance Act we will have now. So this material which I'm referring is covering the amendments by the previous Finance Act also. Now, once the new Finance Act will come, we will have another material which will be covering the amendments by this budget or Finance Act as well, right? Now we start with the CGST Act. Now in CGST Act, we have the section wise. Now we have already seen section 7, right? But now I want to show you the schedules, because what we are studying is given in the schedules, right? So I have opened both things parallelly, the Bear Act also, where section 7 is there. So now I'm on my step 1. Step 1 is subsection 2 of this section. So we are going by my steps. Step 1 is subsection 2. What does subsection 2 says? Notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1, these two things, 1, what is given in schedule 3, and 2, what is given in notification, will be excluded from supply. So please understand things in simple words first. So whatever we are going to study in schedule 3 and certain notifications, that is excluded from supply. Now I take you to the first list, which is also called as the negative list or the no supply list, that is schedule 3. What does the act calls it? The act calls it that activities or transaction which shall be treated neither as supply of goods nor as supply of service. In simple words, call it as no supply or call it as negative list. Fine. Just I will answer you separately, beta, because if I start answering specific points, then it will be slightly not correct, because others may not be in line with that. So I will not right now answer you that. I'll answer you when the respective time comes. Purav is asking, is it beneficial to have barracks? I generally recommend. And anyways, all these things I download from the institute's website only. You can also go to our ICAI.org. You will get everything in resources. So you can also download. I prefer referring barracks. Vanshika says, so sir, basically section 7.2a state transactions or activities specified in schedule 3, correct? Whereas 7.2b states activities or transactions specified in schedule 3. No, I think you repeated it. So Vanshika beta, it is like this. 7.2a says that we have given a list in schedule 3. 7-2B says we have given another list in notifications. So 7-2A is referring to schedule 3 list, 7-2B is referring to notification, and then for both commonly they are saying whatever we have referred to in these two places, one is in schedule 3 and one is in the notification, both will be treated as no supply. Or in other words, both will be excluded from supply. Fine, Vanshika, beta? Perfect. So now I'm giving you the first list, which is regarded as no supply. Okay? Now, interestingly, what is first regarded as no supply is your, in simple terms, salary or wages. That is, in other words, employment. Now, please understand, let us say if you are employee with ICAI, for example, you are employee of ICAI. So you are actually doing a transaction of giving service. In fact, we always say you are in service because every day you are giving some or the other service to ICAI. Now, when you are giving a service to ICAI, in that case, this is a transaction, yes. In fact, it is a transaction of service, yes, but I do not want to tax it. I want to keep salary and wages outside GST, at least for the foreseeable future, that is for a long period of time. And hence, I have included this in my negative list, in my schedule 3. So what is first covered in schedule 3 is services which you are providing to your employer in the course or in relation to your job. So in simple words, the employment services are outside GST. So that is why on salary and wages, there is no GST applicable. Nobody pays GST on the salary and wages. Virashri, for 7-1A, you have to refer schedule 2 because 7-1A talks about classification. Classification is given in schedule 2. Yes, very good, Vanshika. So wherever it is written that which may be notified by government, so it means that it is through notification. Yes, correct, Vanshika. So notified, wherever it is written in the act, it means you have to refer to the notification. So it is the English variation. Like you remember in school, we studied noun form, verb form, adjective form. So notification words, verb form is to be notified. Correct? So notification is the noun form, notified is the verb form. So first, what is outside GST? So let me call schedule 3 negative list as what is outside GST or what is no supply. So first, what will not be treated as supply on which GST will not be applicable is your employment. Now, interestingly, students, just to develop your understanding of the subject and also how to read the subject, it is only one way what is not supply. So schedule 3 only covers services given by employee to employer, that is the employment as no supply. But many times it may happen that employer is also giving some service to employee. Why? Because the employee is a customer of the employer. Possible, na? So let us say you are working in a bank. So you are employee of the bank, right? But at the same time, you are using bank's ATM card, you are using bank's locker facility. So here the bank who is your employer is giving you service. This is in GST. What is outside GST is only one way. So it is not that you should assume that both ways it is not GST. Employee giving to employer is outside GST, what we call as salary and wages. But if employer is giving something to employee, that is very well in GST. GST is applicable. Second very important thing which is clarified is it should be in the course of your employment. Now what it means? See, many times you are employee also and parallelly, let us say you have a part-time business. Now, from that business, if you are supplying anything to your employer, that is very well in GST. So as an employee, what you give to employer, only that is outside GST. That is the meaning of this part in the course of employment. So what you give to employer as part of your employment, that is only what is outside GST. Correct? Is the first part clear to everyone? What is outside GST? So in simple words, on salary and wages, there is no GST. Second, there is no GST on the work of courts and tribunals. So whenever services are given by courts and tribunals, so we go to courts for some legal issues, we go and file appeal, we pay the appeal fees over there. there is no GST on the appeal fees. Why? Because whatever the courts are doing, it is their statutory function, right? Secondly, similarly, like how court statutory function is to give you justice. Similarly, we elect the members of parliament at the central level, member of state level at the state level, and then members of panchayat, municipalities at the local level. Very recently, we had these local elections in Maharashtra. We had state elections in Bihar. Very soon, we will have state elections in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and West Bengal. So all these, we keep on electing members at different levels. Now, again, whatever activities these members are doing, which is again their statutory functions as the members, there is no GST on their activities. Similarly, if you are holding some capacity created by the Constitution, so there is some position which is created by the Constitution. Like I'll give you an example. As a chartered accountant, we perform audits, correct? Now, when we do audits, our auditing service is a professional service which is liable to GST. Now, these audits may be company audits, maybe income tax audit. So many audits are there that we as chartered accountants do. But if you are appointed as C and AG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, again you will do audits only. Audits of whom? Audit of different government departments. Now, when you do the same function of audit, but in the capacity as C and AG, what you are doing will be outside GST. Why? Because now what you are doing is your duty, which is created because of this position created by Constitution. So when you are on any constitutional post, and at that post you are performing a duty, it becomes your statutory duty. So please understand what they are trying to do. If I give you the logic of this, these are all statutory duties. So when as a CA you do something, it is your professional function. You are doing that profession, you are doing that business, so you are doing it. But when you are elected by people, or when a constitution puts you in a position, like judges, courts are also created because of Constitution. So when these people are doing any activity, they are doing their activity as a statutory function. So it is like a statutory role given to them. So that is why there is no GST on their services. Right, students? I hope you all are understanding this. Bank audit taxable because that is in your professional capacity. It is not a statutory duty. Now, during elections, many times you find many people, when they have to criticize the other party, they many times use some examples from tax. So I remember during our central elections, one opposition party leader has commented this, that the government has made such a bad GST law. It is so bad that even if a person is dying, he has to die by keeping some money in his pocket to pay GST on his death. This is completely wrong. That is a very politically biased statement, because if that political leader would have met me, or I would have had his number, I would have simply taken a screenshot of this entry number 4, which simply says, what does entry number 4 says? That upon death of a person, we perform one of these things. So all of our customs have different of these activities. In some customs, we do funeral. In some, we bury. In some, we do crematorium. So all of these things are done in different beliefs and customs. So whatever you do after the death of the person, those services are outside GST. Similarly, before you perform these rituals, till the time the body is kept in a preserved environment, which is called as a mortuary, and also the services of ambulance of any vehicle that you use for transporting the body, which is called as deceased, right? Both these services of preserving and of transporting, that is taking it from one place to another, that is also excluded. So all these three activities after the death of a person: one, keeping the body preserved for some time, then taking the body from one place to another, and finally performing these rituals of the body, all these are excluded from GST. Correct? Balio Patro beta, statutory audit is your professional functions. We call it a statutory audit because some act has asked you to do that audit. So it is fully taxable because it is not a statutory duty. It is a professional function that you're doing. So whenever CA does an audit in the capacity as a statutory auditor, it is not a statutory duty. See, what is statutory duty in simple words, which is created by Constitution? If any particular act is creating, it is not statutory. It is, we call it as statutory as a language usage, but it is not a statutory duty. Maithili, you will get answer to this. So firstly, whether post office, what they are doing is having GST, answer is yes. But then when you go to the exemption chapter, you find that the services which the post office is giving to common man, like using that postcard, postal stamps, that they have exempted because it is for common man. But that is because it is exempted. But what they are doing is very much in GST. Services by employer to employee is a supply. Yes, Satish, I already clarified this. Employee giving to employer is no supply, but vice versa is a supply. See, I've already written it here, Satish. I don't know whether you are present or not. So when employee gives to employer, I've put a cross. Can you see? But when employer gives to employee, I've put a tick. So it is very well in GST, Satish. Now come to another point, which is under a lot of litigation. There are many cases going on the interpretation of this. So what is kept outside GST is sale of land, and second is sale of building. But which building? For this, they have written here something subject to clause B, para 5, which we are going to read in schedule 2. So here I'll use building which is completed and ready, just for simplicity. Because if the building is under construction, they have kept it under GST. So if you are booking a flat or a shop or an office under a building which is under construction, the builder will charge you GST. If the construction of that building is complete, the building is ready, and then you purchase the office or shop or flat, that is outside GST because of entry number 5. So if you are buying a plot of land, it is outside GST. Or if you are buying a building which is completed in the form of some shop office, it is outside GST. But what will be covered here in this part in schedule 2 is where the building is under construction. If you buy it at that time, it will be liable to GST. I hope this is clear to everyone. So just beta, whatever is difficult, you can please ask me, because I'm supposed to conduct the batch majorly in English only. But if any part you feel is not understandable, you can ask me. Anyways, I'm trying to use Hindi, but I cannot cover everything in Hindi because majorly we have to cover the batch as per standing instructions in majorly English only, so that it is convenient to people from all parts. But yes, I'm using Hindi whenever I'm answering any of your questions. I'm using Hindi. So if you're asking me your doubt in Hindi, I'll definitely respond to you in Hindi. And anyways, see, if you have opted for English in your curriculum, then I will request that you also develop this as the base language. You will have to work on it because that will be required, so that whenever you are presenting yourself anywhere else, or whenever you are representing your client, or you are talking to authorities where majorly English is required, at that time you will not have a problem. So I'll request that kindly you also try to adapt yourself with English. But yes, from my side, wherever you want, I'll definitely explain you what is required. Fine, beta? Now I came back to your module because I remembered that at your level something is not relevant. So they have mentioned that in schedule 3, there are 2 entries, 7 and 8. These entries are not relevant for your exam purposes at the intermediate level. So entries 7 and 8, I will skip from the act, right? So the act which I'm referring to. So these 2 entries are for the time being not relevant to you. So we'll skip them. Then come point number 6 or entry 6. What is taxable is actionable claim other than this is outside GST. So what is taxable is, you can just keep in mind, specified actionable claims are taxable. Because see, we are reading the list of what is outside GST, what is outside supply. In that they have written actionable claim, but then they have said other than. It means these actionable claims, which named as specified actionable claim, what it includes, we'll go and see the definition, so you'll understand it better. So whatever is specified actionable claim, they are taxable. Other than that, all other actionable claims are outside GST. So now we go to the definition part. So wherever required, we will go to the definition to understand certain things. Now, what is specified actionable claim? ICAI. Now see, specified actionable claim is defined under section 2 clause 102 capital A. What it says, specified actionable claim means actionable claim involved in or by way of. So in simple words, you remember this, something is English language, which you may very well ignore, which is not very important to learn it by heart. So just remember these words. These are taxable under GST. Let me also inform you, there is a huge debate going on in Supreme Court on this, whether it should be taxable or not. We will see whatever Honorable Supreme Court answers, but for the time being, we are treating it as taxable. So just remember these names, but maybe after the Honorable Supreme Court judgment, maybe this may get changed. But for the time being, if you are engaged in any activity, what is the activity? Betting, gambling, or you are going to casinos, or you are participating in horse racing, or you have taken lottery. I'm sure you all know all these things. Or you are participating in online money gaming. So all these are taxable under GST. Why? See, this is how the law always designs the language. So how the law has designed? We are reading what is no supply. In that, they have said actionable claims are no supply. But then within this, they have given exceptions other than. It means these actionable claims are taxable. So what are these actionable claims? I took you to the definition of specified actionable claims. So you have to remember these names. Betting, gambling, casino, lottery, all this is taxable. Fine. These are called as specified actionable claim. Sridhar is saying this file is not available in portal, but it is not in the BOS portal. You go to ICAI.org in the resources, you will find this. I've downloaded. I generally use our institute's portal only. For all your study materials and past exam papers, I go to BOS portal. For everything else, I go to the ICAI.org. Over there, in the resources section, you will have to find out in the relevant tab, you will get all these files, right? Please use it. But Aditi Verma, beta, I know you cannot open the Bear Act. Firstly, you can download the Bear Act. Why I'm using the Bear Act? Because it is more convenient. See, I have parallelly opened the module also, beta. Module covers, copy paste the same thing. Can you see this? Same thing what I'm reading from the Bear Act is word to word given over here. Can you see this? See this, beta. So actionable claims other than specified actionable claim, and then they have defined specified actionable claim. This is what exactly I'm referring. See, I can teach from module, but the challenge is, if you can see, the module PDF is in the log form. I want to write. If you see, I have this habit of marking writing. Now here, see, I'm trying. I cannot use my pen here. Can you see this? Because this file has limited permission. Can you read this? You may not have access to some features. Now, because I've downloaded this file from the BOS portal, which is not allowing me to write anything, that is where but I'm slightly handicapped. And I want to write, I want to mark so that it is more helpful to you all. So Aditi beta, I have parallelly opened the module, and what I'm teaching from the Bear Act is there in the module. My only reason of going to the Bear Act is one, because I wanted you all to see how the Bear Act looks so that you all get comfort with Bear Act. But more important to that is I have to use the Bear Act because that is in the open PDF version where I can write. Is this okay, Aditi beta? If you want, I can still continue with the with your module, but then it will be only all one side. I'm sure when I write something, it also clicks to your minds. You are able to identify. You open the parallel thing in your module. Na? See, the module page also I've opened. What I'm marking in the bare act, you mark on the module. That will help you only more. Whatever I'm marking, you mark, you write there. It will help you. Yes, Reagan. So where building is completed and ready, it is not taxed. Balio Patro Beda, now cess has been anyways removed, so there is no cess on this actionable claim. So Aditi Verma, are you comfortable if I mark on the bare act? Can you parallelly mark in your module? Because everything is word to word same. Only the PDFs are different. And I told you my reason of not being able to use the bare act, use the module because I cannot mark it. So beta, please bear with me. Yes, whatever you don't find in your module, you can ask me, sir, what you have explained from bare act, where it is in the module. So this is where I'm exactly referring this only. Only I'm using the bare act so that I can do marking. So please, Veda, kindly bear with me because I want to mark so that it will help you also mark. See how I'm marking. I'm writing everywhere something. So please do that. Fine. Okay. So general rule is actionable claims are out of GST except actionable claims which are treated as specified actionable claim. And what are specified actionable claim? I just went to the definition. So the definition says these are all specified actionable claims. Betting, casino, gambling, horse race, lottery, online money gaming. Now somebody asked me, what is online money gaming? So there is also a definition of online money gaming. So let me take you to that definition. Again, in the module, every time if you want to refer the definition, either it will be given there itself where we are reading this, or if not, it is definitely given at the start of every chapter. So you can refer that. Now see, there are two definitions. One is online gaming and what online money gaming. What is the difference? See, again, this is a very big dispute area right now going on, but we are not right now getting into the dispute because we have to first understand the basic things. Now, this IPL season is starting. So, firstly, we have this T20 World Cup and then we have IPL. Now, whenever IPL starts, you always find ads of Dream 11 or make your team. Now, I am giving you this example because this is something very common which you all have seen, which you will see even in the during the matches, the in between ads are there, and there they tell you get an opportunity to earn 1 crore, you can earn 1 lakh, you can earn 10 lakhs. You remember last IPL's season, these ads were playing. Now, what is online gaming and what is online money gaming? See, online gaming is very broad. It simply says it means offering a game on the internet. So today, whatever games you are playing on the internet, whether using your mobile or using your laptop, all that is online gaming. So in short, whatever you play on the internet, that is online gaming. Now, please understand what is not online gaming. So you have some games which are already downloaded, which are saved in your mobile, where you can play it even offline. Offline means without connecting to internet, you don't require internet for that. So you have some inbuilt games in your mobile phones. You have some saved or downloaded games in your mobile phones where now you don't need the internet. That is whenever you are in the offline mode also, without connecting to internet, you can play them. They are not online games. So online is where you compulsorily required to play it because the games are played on the respective company's portal, the company whose game it is. You have to go to their portal, you have to connect to them online through internet or through any other electronic network, which may be leased cable lines. But most important, where you are playing game, but not which is already saved, but you are playing a game which is live. That is what is online gaming. So I hope you got the difference between online and offline. During our childhood, when there was no internet, when there was no gadgets, we used to get a one simple, we used to call it as video game. So we used to get one device which was of our palm size. In that, there would be multiple games saved. Some devices had 100, some had 1,000 games. So we used to select the game and used to play. Where we were not connected to any internet because in those times there were anyways no internet facilities, at least in India. So when we were playing those games, they are called as offline games. So you're not connected to anyone. That is the saved game in your phone. Today, your phone is that gadget. Earlier, we had a separate gadget. Here today, the gadget is your phone itself, right? Nitin, we are talking about those examples only, those actionable claims which are not in GST. Firstly, I'm on GST actionable claims, then we'll go to what is not in GST. Allow me some time. So I hope firstly you are understood what is online game. So the game which you play live, that is, which cannot be played if you are not in the Wi-Fi or where you do not have internet, if those games cannot be played, those are called as online games. Now, within online games, because it says that it includes online money gaming also. Now, what is online money gaming? So, online gaming, we understood. Now, what is online money gaming? So, online money gaming are all those online games, again, which cannot be played on the saved mode. You have to play it live, where you have to keep some money or money's worth on stake. What is on stake? So for playing these Dream 11, etc., they ask you to put 100 rupees or 50 rupees or 40 rupees. And if you win, you get double or triple. If you lose, your money goes. So same like betting gambling. So online money gaming, where you are playing by putting something on bet, that if I win, I will get 3 times, 4 times. If I lose, the money will go. That is what is online money gaming. So there is a technical definition, but I've tried to give you the real meaning, the simpler meaning. Now I'm read the technical definition. It says it means online gaming, so which you have to play when you are live, in which player pays or deposits money or money's worth, which may include nowadays you have this virtual digital assets like Bitcoin and all. And why you are putting this in expectation of winning. So you can win a bigger amount by putting 100 rupees, you can win 500. This is what is that expectation. So you are playing a game, but by playing the game, it is not only that you will be enjoying by winning. Like nowadays, in our times and even today, when I am playing a game, my interest is only ki I enjoy by playing the game, because we are not putting anything on stake. We win, we may lose, but it is only the victory or the loss. That's it. But no money is kept on stake. But where you are expecting to win money or money's worth, again, which may be bitcoins or virtual digital assets. So it may be real money or it may be virtual money. Then such events, which may be game or some scheme or some competition, and whether or not the outcome is based on your skill or chance. So it may be completely game of dice, like you roll the dice. If you get 7 number, you win. If you don't get 7 number, you lose. That is game of chance. And game of skill is where you are actually playing a game like Ludo or Teen Patti, where there is some skill involved. Both games where you are keeping money and your expectation is getting money. That is what is online money gaming. Is this clear? Obviously, Kambira, whenever you are withdrawing from Dream 11 or anything, TDS applies. Why? Because income tax is applicable on all those winnings. That is why they deduct TDS. So students, firstly, I am sure you understood what is online gaming and online money gaming, right? Now we'll take a small break of 12-15 minutes and we'll come back, and then I take you to the definition of actionable claim, so that now we will understand what was somebody's specific question. Ki, sir, what are the actionable claims which are not liable to GST? Because right now we were studying specified actionable claims which are liable to GST. What is not liable to GST? For that, we have to first understand the meaning of actionable claim. Again, this definition would be given maybe at the start of this chapter. So maybe you can just open your module at the start and you can find out the definition over there at the start. So where is the definition here? Actionable claim, maybe CD, na? Yeah, actionable claim. Now they have said actionable claim means as defined in Transfer of Properties Act. So GST Act is not defining actionable claim, it is defined in Transfer of Properties Act. So by default, I'll also have to go to the module, because module has given that definition here itself. See, they have defined actionable claim. So after the break, we come back to the definition of actionable claim. 1 second. I think they have also defined actionable claim at the start of this chapter. No problem. After this, yes. So they have defined actionable claim, which is as per Transfer of Properties Act. Fine, students. So let us Students, let us resume. I take your queries first. So withdrawal, Dream 11, TDS deducted, we discussed. Yes, Akhila says it's treated as illegal. See, understand one thing, but legal, illegal is a different aspect. Taxation law is never dependent on that. So even if you're entering into something which is illegal, let us say, firstly, whether it is illegal or not, I'm debating on that if you're talking about this online money gaming and all. So it is not completely illegal. Some states have banned betting gambling. So that is what is, as I said, a dispute going on whether it is betting gambling, because that will be then altogether a different story. But keeping that aside, the law, whether it is income tax law, GST law, that is a taxation law, has nothing to do with illegality of a transaction. Even if the transaction is illegal, if it fits in the charging section, if what you are doing illegal is still a taxable event, you have to pay tax. Sunita is saying suggestion PDF live allows PDF file, but I tried doing it, but still it wasn't that comfortable. So I'm doing it this way. Kindly just adapt with that. Sir, GST is applied for trading and stock market transactions. No, there is no GST on share value. Yes, only on the commission or brokerage you pay to the bolt, there is GST. But whatever you buy or sell the stocks or the derivatives, there is no GST on that amount. Yes, Ankita, 30% TDS for winnings. You're right. Balio Patro says, I face this problem in real life. Which problem, beta? Sir, explain section 7, subsection 1. Akhila, beta, I'm still on step 1. Step 1 is section 7, 2 read with schedule 3. What you're asking me to explain is in my step 2. Should I jump directly to step 2 and first explain that? Or should I first complete my step 1 and when I go to step 2, then I will explain? Is it okay, Akhila? So, Balio, you are saying, but I want this solution. What solution? So, beta, see, what you are asking is completely a different part of a different chapter. If I go to that in between, it will break the link for everybody. So, kindly allow me to first come to that part and then I will answer your question, or at least let me complete whatever I'm explaining right now. Yes, Sushmita has correctly pointed out where you will get the barracks. So in resources under publication, that is under the technical part, you have the GST Indirect Tax Committee Handbook. Sir, is GST necessary for newly starting business with minimum capital? C. Sandeepti. GST is not basis capital, it is basis the turnover. So in the initial part, when your turnover is below the registration limit of 20 lakhs, 40 lakhs, and in some cases 10 lakhs, till then no GST. But the moment you cross that limit or you engage in some specified transactions, you have to register, and it is irrespective of your capital. So GST has nothing to do with the capital part, beta. Fine. Schedule 3, para 5, please explain. Schedule 3, para 5. What is Schedule 3, para 5? Para 5 is sale of land. So, beta, you purchase plots of land, you sell plot of land, no GST. And let us say you are staying in a house, which is a building which is completed. Tomorrow, if you sell this house, or if you purchase a shop which is completed means ready, there is no GST. So on two things in point number 5, there is no GST. One is sale of land or plot of land, and second is where the building is completed. So where there is GST, when you are buying an under construction building. So under construction building, there is GST. Understood, beta? I hope it is clear now. Fine. Okay. Now I proceed with the other entries. As I said, 7, 8 are not part of your syllabus, so I'm not spending time on that. Now, 9, 10, both are dealing with insurance. Now, what is that insurance? So first term is used as co-insurance premium. What is this co-insurance premium? So I'll give an example. Let us say I'm an insurance company, which is over here called as the lead insurer. So Mr. Adani, approaches me. He says, I want to take a life policy on my life, which is of 1,000 crore. So he wants to take a life policy for his own life of 1,000 crore. Now, as insurance company, which is over here called as the lead insurer, I'm very happy because this one single policy is achieving all my targets and I'm going to get a good premium. Let us say on this, I'm charging premium of 100 crores, which is my earning of, let us say, 4 or 5 years at once. So I'm very happy to take this insurance policy. But then with this 100 crore premium, which is my benefit, I'm also having a very big risk of 1,000 crore policy. Tomorrow, if anything happens, then I will have to pay 1,000 crores, which is beyond my capacity. That is not even my capital. So what I do is I involve more insurers in this. They are called as the co-insurers. So together, we have the capacity of taking such a huge policy. So together we take the policy. Now I am the lead insurer. Lead means the one who has originally been contacted and who has got the main policy. So firstly, how it will happen, the client, which is Mr. Adani in this example, will pay 100 crores to me. Who am I? I am the lead insurance company. But since I have shared this insurance with other insurance companies, so let us say I am sharing 30% with company A and 30% with company B, and I'm taking 40%. So what I will do is I will have to give him 30 crores of premium, give this person 30 crores of premium, and keep 40 crores with me. Now in this case, GST, now recently from 22nd of September, you all know on life insurance, which is personal life insurance, GST has been exempted. But let us say this is corporate life insurance on which GST is still applicable. So here I'm taking this example, assuming this is a corporate life insurance like Keyman Insurance where GST is applicable. So there is GST on this premium of 100 crores because life insurance comes under GST net. However, this 100 crores I have to share with these people. Now, when I have to share with these people 30 crores, the question is whether again there will be GST on 30 crores. Technically, as per the law, the answer is yes. Because firstly, you earn 100 crores, and means you are giving service of entire 100 crores to Mr. Adani, and you are also getting in return services from these two companies because they are co-insuring along with you. So in this particular case, when these companies, you give them 30% of the premium as their share, they are liable to GST. This is the rule. However, I repeat, however, because of this entry 9, which is recently added, it is saying that the activity of apportionment. So I'm apportioning the co-insurance premium. So I have received 100 crores. I am the lead insurer and I'm going to distribute it between the other co-insurers who have jointly supplied this insurance services to Mr. Adani in my case. So whatever premium I'm going to share with them, that will not be liable to GST. The condition put is that firstly on the entire premium, GST has been levied. So that I'm levying. I'm levying GST at the first leg, which is on the premium which I'm getting from the policy holder. That is the entire premium of 100. So when I divide this 100 between these two companies, that apportionment of 30 crores will be outside GST. This is what is the clarification. Now, continuing the same example, there is commission. Now, what is a commission? Now, whenever you take a policy and this is 100 crore is the premium. So now I take this same example from the perspective of the agent. So the agent who brought this policy to the company, he got company 100 crores premium. He earned 100 crores premium for the company. So companies, let us say, going to pay him 6 crore as commission. But interestingly, again, this 6 crore will be again further subdivided. Why? Because the company has divided the insurance with these people. So the commission of that has to be shared with these people, again 30%. Now same, this commission which the main agent has to share with them, that is what is the ceding commission or the commission on reinsurance. So I took the whole policy and I got it reinsured from other company. So their agents should also get a share in commission on the same lines. If GST is paid on the entire commission, then again there will be no GST on the commission which you are ceding or which you are sharing. So that is what is the point. So if tax is paid on the gross insurance premium, same like the above condition, if the tax is paid on the gross insurance premium, then no tax will be paid on sharing of the premium. Similarly, if tax is paid on the commission portion of the gross insurance, then there will again be no tax on the commission which is divided or distributed. That is what is this point. So both point number 9 and 10 are complementing points. They are dealing with the insurance business. So when a big insurance policy is divided between two or more insurance companies, then 9 and 10 will come into picture. Yes, Aditi.
Sir, I didn't get the 10th point. Could you please, in short, explain 10th point again?
So beta, whenever there is insurance, some agent
Okay.
gets you this client. So
Okay.
a company, insurance company has to compulsorily pay that agent the commission. You know this.
Okay. Yes, sir.
There are people who are business is insurance agent, so they are practicing as insurance agent, right? So they get the commission on every policy that is taken out. You know this.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
In the same example, when this policy will be taken out, so the lead insurer will have to give its agent the commission of 6 crores, but the same insurance policy is shared by the main insurer with two other insurance companies. So their
Yes,
agents
sir.
will have to be paid this 1.8 crore commission. So again, it is like this, that these agents are giving service to the main agent because the main agent has got the main policy, but that policy is shared with other insurance companies. So once you have
Okay.
paid GST on the main agent's commission, you don't have to again pay GST on the smaller company's commission. This is what is the point. So same like how you will pay GST only once on the gross premium, similarly you will pay GST only once on the gross commission, not on the commission which is shared, which is called as ceding commission.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Fine, students. Now we come to the actionable claim point. So we have completed entire schedule 3 list. Now in this, we have to check the actionable claim point. So we studied that actionable claim is given in schedule 3. It means it is out of GST. However, within actionable claim, they have said that specified actionable claims are taxable. So we saw the definition of specified actionable claims. What is taxable? Now the question is, but what is actionable claim which is outside GST? And what are the examples of that actionable claim? So we saw in the act said that actionable claim means actionable claim as defined in Transfer of Properties Act. This is what the main act says. So I came back to your module because our module has taken the definition of the Transfer of Properties Act. So how does Transfer of Property Act defines actionable claim? So it defines actionable claim to mean a claim to any debt other than a debt secured by mortgage of immovable property or by hypothecation of a movable property. Now, whatever is the language, I will explain or I'll try to explain in a simpler form. So what is an actionable claim? This is as per Transfer of Properties Act. We call it as TOPA. So please break two words. First is a claim. So what is a claim? Claim is amount which you claim or demand from another person. Like simple example is you demand some money from your debtors. So wherever you claim, that is you demand some money from some another person, that is called as, like example is debtors, all you have bills receivables, where you demand some money. So there is some outstanding amount which you are demanding, which you are claiming. Most important is this claim is unsecured. So there is no security either of immovable property. Also, there is no security of movable property. So most important, this is an unsecured claim. So like you have unsecured loans, you have unsecured debtors. So all this comes in unsecured. Now, what is the meaning of the word actionable? Actionable means legal action can be taken for recovery of this amount of claim. So you have some outstanding. The outstanding is not secured, most important, but there are legal action possible, like you can file a case against that person. So wherever any amount is outstanding, I gave you example, debtors, bills receivable, or let us say you win a lottery. So the lottery amount which now you demand from whom? From the lottery company becomes actionable claim. Why? Because you can file a case for getting your money. So wherever any amount is outstanding and it is not secured, but since your claim is legal, you can file a case to recover that money. That amount becomes actionable claim. So the simplest example, if you all want, is debtors, bills receivable, that will come under actionable claims. Other amounts that come under actionable claim is lottery amount, betting amount. All these are also actionable claims, and these are covered in the specified actionable claims, which is taxable. These are not covered in the specified actionable claims, so they are not taxable. So once you win any amount like lottery, betting, gambling, when you win, you command or you can now demand that amount from that person by filing a legal case. That becomes actionable claim. So all these amounts, betting, gambling, casino, all these are actionable claims which are covered in specified actionable claims, so they are taxable. Other than that, what is not covered is debtors, bills receivables. All these are not covered, hence it is not taxable. I hope this is clear to you all now. What is actionable claim? So I read the whole definition. It means claim to any debt. So you are having claim for some outstanding amount other than the debt which is secured, and you don't have any security whether of immovable property by way of any mortgage or of any movable property by way of hypothecation. So no such security is there. Or you have a claim to any beneficial interest in movable property not in possession, either actual constructive of the claimant. Now comes the next part. So this is all about claim. Actionable means which the civil court recognizes as affordable ground for relief. Now what does this mean? Which I have explained in simple words, that you can file a case, you can file a suit in the civil court, and the civil court will take your case, and if your claim is correct, they will give you relief. Relief means they will pass order in your favor that yes, the money has to be paid to you. So wherever you can file a case for recovering your money and that amount is not secured, such a claim is actionable claim. Clear to you all, students, the meaning of actionable claim? And whoever was asking, sir, what are the examples of actionable claim which are outside GST? It is debtors, it is your bills receivable, or it is any outstanding amount. Para 9 again. Which para, Azhar, beta 9? You are saying, please explain para 9 again. Which para 9, beta? Azhar? Harshal, what you are saying, bad debts? Yes, bad debts is the debts which are gone. So you can file case for bad debts. Azhar, beta, I think you are not attentive or either you are not in the class. See, para 9 is what? Para 9 is you have taken a big insurance policy and you have got insurance premium. But since it is a very big policy, you yourself alone cannot take the policy individually. So you have taken jointly the policy with other insurance companies who are called as co-insurers. Now, out of the total premium, since the other insurance company has also taken some risk, so you have to give them, you have to share with them your premium. So whatever you are sharing with them, that is not liable to GST. That is what is the point. Is this clear, beta Azhar? Is this clear to everyone, students? Entire schedule 3, which is outside GST. So I come back to the module. I come back to that page where we were studying schedule 3, which is outside GST. So this is that list which we just completed, right? Now we come to the notifications. So 7.2b says that there is one more list of what is no supply or what will be outside GST. That list is given by way of notifications. So government is given the power to notify certain activities or transactions which are undertaken by the government and in which they are engaged as public authorities, and these are the ones which will not be treated as supply of goods or supply of service. So now we go to the list which is given in notification. Now notifications are issued by government from time to time. So there are different notifications like here. This is given in which notification. So they have marked 30. So 30 is what? Notification number 14/2017. Then you have another notification 11/2017. Then you have another notification 25/2019 and notification 24/2019. So there are multiple notifications. So our module has compiled all the notifications entries at one place for simplicity of understanding. Now, what are these activities which are not treated as supply? And these are all as per notification. First, activity in relation to panchayat or municipal functions. Now, at the local level, either if it is some rural place, you'll have gram panchayat, and if it is some city or town place, you'll have municipalities. Now, all these gram panchayats and municipalities are required to perform some functions. So these are their statutory functions. And why they are statutory? Because again, they are given the constitution. So I repeat, whatever is given in constitution is your statutory function. Whatever is given in a specific act like Companies Act, Income Tax Act is your professional function. Professional function, even though people may call it as statutory audit, it is liable to GST. But what is given in the constitution? So whatever comes from constitution, the responsibilities that become statutory duties, which are not liable to GST. Now, whenever a panchayat is entrusted with some duties as per Article 243G of the Constitution, or municipality is also entrusted with some functions as per Article 243W of the Constitution. So whatever the Gram Panchayat does or whatever the municipality does as per these articles of the Constitution, that is outside GST. Same reason, like how we saw what members of parliament do, member of legislative assembly do, same thing is what municipality do, what Gram Panchayat do. All these things are as per the Constitution. Hence, they are their statutory functions, statutory duties. So they will be outside GST. Harshal Patil, I read all chapter after completion of session related second chapter and a highlight study material. So Harshal, I did not get your point, what you mean to say. Pushpin, the lottery is taxable if company refuse to pay. If lottery claimant takes legal action and then recoverable amount, it is not taxable. No, beta, see, lottery is actionable claim because the claimer can always take legal action. It is not that whether he has taken or not. You can take the action. It is actionable. So can you take action? Yes. So it is actionable. First point. Now, second point, whether or not you take an action, it is an actionable claim. It is put in the definition of specified actionable claim, hence it is taxable. So where an actionable claim is put in the definition of specified actionable claim, it becomes taxable. Now Veerashri is asking, so sir, for secured actionable claim, what is for secured actionable claim? You need not take a legal action. Why? Because you have the security. Na? What will happen? You can sell the security and get your money. So why you'll go to court? That is why in actionable claim, they have specifically included those claims for which you do not have security. Because only for recovering money of that claim, you have to go to the court because you have not taken security. That person is not coming to you for making payment. So how you'll get the money? You'll go to the court, correct? So, beta, I'm not saying it is differing. So there is no difference. Firstly, do not compare income tax and GST for two reasons. Reason one, both acts are having different domains of operation. One is direct, one is indirect. But most important is the second reason. Income tax is on net and GST is on gross. So wherever GST is applicable, if you are not getting the net as per profit, you may not be paying income tax. Secondly, income tax has some deemed incomes that whether or not you have actually got some profit, the law assumes it is deemed income. Over there, GST will not apply because GST is not on deemed items, correct? So Sridhar beta, when I said debtor, debtor also means creditor. So one person is debtor, so the other person is creditor. So if debtor is actionable claim, creditor is also actionable claim. But you will never call a creditor as actionable claim because creditor is the person who will take action on the debtor. So what creditor has in his books is what is the actionable claim because he can take action on the debtor. Understood, beta? So first item in the notification, which is no supply, is your functions granted to municipality or panchayats. Then comes the second list or the second item in the notification. Government, you all would be knowing, give licenses. That is why when you go to a particular hotel, it says bar and it says licensed. Means what? They have taken the license to serve liquor over there. Similarly, no shop can sell liquor without having the license to sell liquor. So liquor, since it is a restricted commodity, for doing any business of liquor like manufacturing or selling or serving, you require a liquor license. Now, when the government gives liquor license, they take some fees, they take some charges. So the act of government giving liquor license is also kept outside GST. Sorry. Then, now this point, C part, what I'm going to explain as no supply is given by way of circular. Now you may find this point very strange. Ki, sir, why this point is required? Because there is no supply involved in it. So actually there is no supply involved, but some people were confusing in the law. This had come in the very initial part of GST, that is in 2017 only, because people were confusing with the GST law. Now what is this point which is clarified as no supply? Please understand the transaction. I am in the transport business. So I'm a transporter. Like, I'll give you a common example. It is Indani Travels, or it is for that matter any travel which is famous in your place. Now, what does that travel person do? That travel person runs buses between different parts. So let us say we have buses running from Mumbai to Goa. We have buses running from Mumbai to Pune. We have buses running from Mumbai to Aurangabad, Mumbai to Nagpur. So on different routes, I am running my buses. Now, when I'm running my bus, I have one office in Mumbai, one office in Goa. I have one office in Mumbai, one office in Bangalore. I have one office in Mumbai, one office in Hyderabad. So I'll have office in different states. Now we had discussed this earlier when we were discussing general basics of GST. That GST law requires you to register in that state where you have your place of business. So I have my place of business in these five states: Maharashtra, Goa, Gujarat, and Karnataka, and let us say Hyderabad. In these five states, I have my place of business, I have my office. Now, every day, my bus either goes from Bombay to Goa or it is coming from Goa back to Bombay. So I have different buses operating on different routes. Now, what I will tell you, you will be very amazed to say, sir, it is so stupidity why this question had come up, but it had come up. When my bus is going from my Bombay office carrying passenger to my Goa. So what will happen? Maybe the next day it will reach Goa. The passengers will disembark. So my bus has gone from Bombay to Goa. Then maybe the other day it will start from Goa and it will come back to Bombay. So this is how my transport business is running on different routes. Now you will be amazed, rather you may even find this very stupid, that there were some people who thought that there should be GST. Now see the ideology. I don't know what the logic is. That there should be GST on the bus also, on the train also, or the truck also. Because when I'm sending my bus from my office in Mumbai to my office in Goa, it is a supply. So when my means of transport, what are my means of transport? So if it is Indian Railways, trains are moving on different routes. They are moving from one place to another place. Then if I run buses, if I run trucks, tanker, trailers, so all these are my means of transport. When I am doing transport of either carrying passenger or of goods, I am sending my trucks, I am sending my buses from one place to another. Strangely, some people said this is deemed supply under GST, and there was lot of confusion. So the government very correctly brought this circular clarifying that such movement of your own buses, your own trucks, your own trains, your own aircrafts will not be considered as supply. So when your bus will move from your one business place to another business place, which is in another city or another state, we will not consider that your one office has supplied the bus to another office. See, such strange thing. How can your one office sell the bus to another office? But this is how some people interpreted the GST law provision. So it was clarified. Similarly, when you are in the business where you require cranes, so your cranes, which is already on wheels, so you call it as goods on wheels, like cranes. So again, when you get an assignment where you need to use crane in some other city or maybe some other state, what will happen? Your crane will move because it has its own tires. So it will move from one place to another, and over there you go and do the work and come back. Again, strangely, some people said that this movement of crane from one place to another is also supply. So they have clarified that such movements of your either means of transport like buses, trucks, or of these items which will be used for doing some work over there, all these different vehicles which are on wheels, which go to a particular place so that they perform some function over there, this will not be regarded as transfer. So these are some of the clarifications. And then the latest clarification which has come is on vouchers. Now, what are vouchers? Now, see, yesterday we had our Independence Day celebration. Few days before that, we had Christmas celebration. Then a month ago, before that, we had our Diwali celebration. Now, during all these situations or during all these dates, the malls and they all come up with different fascinating schemes where they want to attract customers. So what they do is they have a concept called as gift voucher, whereby your company or someone gives you the gift voucher and you can go and use that gift voucher in the mall to do shopping. Many times the mall person itself gives you a gift voucher. So let us say today if I go to metro showroom for buying shoes, they say ki sir, if you are buying a shoe and it is costing more than 5,000, we'll give you a gift voucher of 500. What will be the use of this? The next time when you come again, you can show me the gift voucher. I will charge you 500 less. Now, interestingly, there was lot of confusion that when somebody gives me the gift voucher, somebody, maybe my employer, my friend, anyone who gives me the gift voucher, or let us say in this second example, when I go to buy metro shoes, the metro shop itself is giving me gift voucher that next time you come, you have to pay 500 less. In such cases, whether there should be tax on the gift voucher. In other words, whether the gift voucher is goods or it is service. So the answer is there will be no tax on gift voucher because gift voucher are neither goods nor services. So again, this is one very recent clarification about vouchers, that it will also not be regarded as supply because one, either the vouchers are used as a medium of making payment, like many times in my example, both the examples, why the voucher was given. So to that extent, you have to pay less money. So vouchers are nothing but equivalent to money. And if not, they are equivalent to actionable claim. An actionable claim other than specified actionable claim is outside GST. So vouchers will either be money or they will be actionable claim. And in any case, they are outside GST. So these are few clarifications which has come either by way of notification or circulars that these will also not be treated as supply. So what all things have come by notification? One, movement of your means of transport like trucks, vehicles, etc. Then vouchers, then granting liquor license and the functions of panchayat and municipality. these all are not regarded as supply. So these transactions are outside GST because they are kept outside by way of some notification or circular. Satish Kumar is saying, sir, where we talk about one nation, one tax, example of now excise duty is applicable in Karnataka, where in Goa excise duty is not applicable, but VAT is applicable. See, it is not that excise duty is applicable in Karnataka and not in Goa. Excise duty is now limited to few goods which are outside GST. What are those? Liquor, petroleum products. So wherever these are made, there will be excise because it is not in GST. And then there is one thing like tobacco, on which on manufacture you levy excise, on sale you levy GST. So tobacco and tobacco products are only those things where both the duties apply. Kambira says the lawyer fees is professional fees 18%, right? Service to individual is exempt, right, beta? So that you will study in the exemption chapter that when lawyer gives services to individuals, again, because it is a common man service, they have exempted it. But when it is given to business entity, it is taxable. Yes, Diksha, you are right. So students, this is our step 1. So today I gave you the entire ideology, the backdrop of supply concept. And in supply, we have to read it in 3 parts. We have covered the first part today, step 1 today, what is no supply. For that, we studied entire schedule 3. And for that, we studied the notification and circular. So you have to remember the list of those transactions which are not treated as supply. Yes, Rashmi Beda.
सर वो जो बसेस ट्रेन वगैरह का जो क्या बोलते हैं वो सप्लाई नहीं है तो देन इन केस ऑफ ओन बिजनेस एंड ओन बस हो या ट्रक हो या जो भी देन
Correct.
नहीं तो ऐसे तो ट्रेवल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज पे तो रिवर्स चार्ज के थ्रू टैक्स तो लगता ही है ना
नहीं, वापस जब आपका खुद का ट्रक है, आपका खुद का बस है, वो आप एक जगह से दूसरी जगह ले जा रहे हो तो उस पर कोई टैक्स नहीं।
पर एक जगह से
करेक्ट।
दूसरी जगह अगर हम किसी दूसरे के लिए ले गए तो जैसे कि
तो
हमारा
ट्रांसपोर्ट सर्विसेज टैक्सेबल। सी ट्रांसपोर्ट सर्विस पे
यस
कोई
यस
डाउट नहीं, ट्रांसपोर्ट सर्विसेज टैक्सेबल। बट जो आपका बस आपके एक ऑफिस से आपके दूसरे ऑफिस जा रहा है या आपके एक ब्रांच से दूसरे ब्रांच आ रहा है, तो आप ये नहीं बोलोगे ना मेरे एक ब्रांच ने दूसरे ब्रांच को बस बेच दिया। सही बात है ना?
ओके यहाँ पे गुड्स की बात से नहीं हो रही है ट्रांसफर की, यहाँ पे बस ट्रांसफर की बात हो रही है।
एग्जैक्टली। सो जब आप ट्रांसपोर्ट का सर्विस दोगे इट इज टैक्सेबल। पर जो आपका बस
यस
एक जगह से दूसरी जगह आपके ही एक ऑफिस से दूसरे ऑफिस जाएगा, देयर इज नो सप्लाई ऑफ बस। दैट इज व्हाट इज द क्लैरिफिकेशन।
सर बट
अंडरस्टूड
वो
बेटा?
बस तो ऐसे मतलब इम्पेटी तो नहीं जाएगा, उसमें कुछ ना कुछ तो जाएगा, पैसेंजर जाएंगे,
तो बेटा
ट्रक
जो
होगा तो
उसके अंदर जाएगा वो टैक्सेबल है। मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, आप बस में क्या ले जा रहे हो? पैसेंजर्स। आप ट्रक में क्या ले जा रहे हो? गुड्स। उसके ऊपर टैक्स है ना, पर बस पे टैक्स नहीं है। दिस इज व्हाट इज द पॉइंट। क्या बस पे टैक्स लगेगा? नहीं। आप जो बस में लेके जा रहे हो उस पे टैक्स लगेगा। यस, देयर इज नो डाउट इन दैट।
तो जो बस में
पर
लेके जा रहे हैं या ट्रक से तो उस पे टैक्स लगेगा, वो अपने
क्योंकि वो तो
ऑफिस के
ट्रांसपोर्ट सर्विस है ना, हम वो डिनाई नहीं कर रहे, वो तो मान रहे हैं ना, वो तो टैक्सेबल है ही।
अच्छा अच्छा क्लियर सर क्लियर।
ठीक है। यस आदिति बेटा।
Sir, I didn't get this interstate cranes one.
सो बेटा जो अभी आपको बस वाला पॉइंट समझा आपने, आपके बस को एक जगह से दूसरी जगह भेजा। आपके बॉम्बे ऑफिस से बस निकला पैसेंजर लेके गोवा, गोवा में उसने पैसेंजर्स को ड्रॉप किया। तो बस को जब आप एक जगह से दूसरी जगह भेज रहे हो, बस के ऊपर कोई जीएसटी नहीं है। क्या ये बात आपको समझी थी?
Yes, sir.
तो सेम लाइंस पे क्रेन है। नाउ लेट अस से मेरे पास क्रेन है। आई एम सिटिंग इन नासिक महाराष्ट्र। वेयर आर यू अदिति फ्रॉम?
Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh.
गोरखपुर। अब आप बोलते हो कि सर मुझे आपका क्रेन चाहिए क्योंकि यहाँ पे मेरे को क्रेन का कुछ यूज करना है जिससे मुझे कुछ काम करना है। मैं बोलता हूँ ठीक है भाई, मैं आपको क्रेन भेज दूंगा, मगर आप मेरा क्रेन यूज करोगे तो आपको मुझे 2 लाख रुपए उसके चार्जेस देने पड़ेंगे। वो 2 लाख पे जीएसटी है, यस। पर जो मेरा क्रेन मेरे स्टेट से महाराष्ट्र से गया आपके स्टेट उत्तर प्रदेश तक, क्या क्रेन को मैंने बेच दिया आपको? आंसर इज नो। सो जब
No,
मेरा
sir.
क्रेन एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जा रहा है, जैसे बस जब एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जा रही है या ट्रक एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जा रहा है, तो बस और ट्रक पे जीएसटी नहीं है। वैसे ही जो क्रेन मेरा एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जा रहा है सर्विस करने को, उस पे जीएसटी नहीं है। पर क्रेन से जो सर्विस मैं आपको दूंगा, जिसका मैं आपको 2 लाख रुपए चार्ज करा, उस पे जीएसटी है। क्रेन पे जीएसटी नहीं है। मीन्स
Okay,
व्हेन आई एम
okay, got it.
सेंडिंग क्रेन फ्रॉम माय प्लेस टू योर प्लेस, देयर इज नो जीएसटी ऑन दैट। अंडरस्टूड?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sridhar.
सर अगर मैंने एक बस रेंट पे ली और वो दूसरी जगह ली, दूसरे स्टेट में लेकर गया, अगर मैं महाराष्ट्र में हूँ तो मैं कर्नाटक में गया बस रेंट पे लेके, और वो बस मैंने उस एजेंसी से रेंट पे ली है और उसका ऑफिस कर्नाटक में है, तो फिर वो टैक्स सप्लाई होगा या नहीं होगा?
बेटा रेंटिंग सर्विस सी फर्क समझो, एक बस कितने की आती है? समझो एक बस 50 लाख की आती है, राइट? अब
यस
वैल्यू के
सर।
हिसाब से समझो। और आपने वो भाड़े पे ली, मैंने भाड़ा कितना चार्ज किया आपको? एक बार वो बस यूज करने का मैंने भाड़ा चार्ज किया आपको 50,000 रुपए। अब 50 लाख की बस है और 50,000 भाड़ा है, इसमें से 50 लाख की बस पे जीएसटी लगेगा या 50,000 जो रेंट है उस पे जीएसटी लगेगा?
रेंट पे सर।
सिंपल, तो 50,000 पे जीएसटी है, पर जो 50 लाख की बस है बस पे जीएसटी नहीं है। हमने बस बेची क्या? क्या मैंने आपको बस बेची?
नहीं।
नहीं, तो 50 लाख पे जीएसटी नहीं लगना चाहिए। वही तो बात चल रही है। 50,000 जो मैंने आपसे भाड़ा लिया उस पे जीएसटी है, यस, क्योंकि वही तो मेरा सर्विस है, बस भाड़े पे देना इज द सर्विस।
अच्छा, ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
हेलो सर।
यस, जस्ट।
सर इन इजी वे हम यही कह सकते हैं, जो हम हमारी जो बस है या फिर जो भी हमारी मशीन है जो कि हम किसी को प्रोवाइड करवा रहे हैं, तो हम जो जीएसटी ले रहे हैं वो हमारे रेंट पर ले रहे हैं, ना कि बस की वैल्यू पे ले
करेक्ट,
रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम उसको रेंट पर दे रहे हैं,
एग्जैक्टली, so that is
है
the
ना?
point,
सर
you are
उसका
charging
तो सर
GST on the rent and not on the value of bus,
सर्विस
exactly।
बेसिकली जो हम सर्विस दे रहे हैं, है ना? तो सर क्या हमें इस पे टीडीएस भी काटना होता है?
वापस बेटा प्लीज टीडीएस को और जीएसटी को मिक्स मत करो। अभी मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले किसी को बताया, टीडीएस इज पार्ट ऑफ
ओके
इनकम
सर।
टैक्स, करेक्ट? If this
यस सर।
activity is earning income, there will be TDS. So answer is yes in your case. But please don't link TDS and GST everywhere, because then you will get confused, because on certain things there will be TDS, that is income tax, but no GST, and vice versa. So you cannot say that if
ओके
there
गॉट
is
इट सर।
TDS then there will be GST, or if there is GST there will be no TDS. Those are two independent things. So don't mix them. Fine?
ओके सर। यस सर।
Yes. दीक्षा, अगर मॉल का वन ब्रांच आउटसाइड स्टेट है तो ट्रांसफर गुड्स फ्रॉम ओन ट्रांसपोर्ट उसमें जीएसटी लगेगा। सी, गुड्स गोइंग फ्रॉम वन ब्रांच टू अनदर, देयर इज जीएसटी बिकॉज ऑफ शेड्यूल 1। if that branch is outside your state, that we will discuss in our next class, right? But trucks going from one place to another, buses going from one place to another, no GST on the bus and the truck value. Fine? Great. What repairs, Manisha बेटा? मैंने आज कोई रिपेयर्स की बात ही नहीं की अभी तक। Which repairs you are talking about? So Satish beta, you need to connect to me personally for that. But a point B is where I am sending my bus for repairs. So जैसे मैं first example था, I am sending my bus with passengers. I am sending my truck with goods. So is there supply of bus? No. Similarly, if let us say my bus wants repairs, and for repairs again I have to send my bus from my place to the workshop where the repairs will happen. So am I sending? Am I supplying my bus to the garage wala? Answer is no. When the repair will be completed, the garage wala will again send my bus back or truck back. Whether the garage wala is supplying me the bus, answer is no. So in short, where the bus or the trucks are moving from one location to another, there is no supply of bus and truck. Why they are moving? They are moving either because they are carrying passenger goods, or they are moving because they are going there for some repairs, maintenance, like how you may be taking your two-wheeler and four-wheeler for regular repairs and maintenance to some workshop. Will it be called that you have sold your vehicle to the workshop, or when the workshop after repairing sends you back the vehicle, it is purchased? Answer is no. That is why that is outside. So just for clarification, they have called it as no supply. Correct? Is this clear to all? Yes, repairs, on repairs there is GST, no doubt. On repairs there is GST. But on the value of bus which is going for repairs, there is no GST. That is what is the clarification. Even in transport, on transport charges there is GST, but not on the value of bus. Similarly, when bus is going for repairs or truck is going for repairs, on repairs there is GST, but you cannot charge tax on the entire bus. See, understand what the confusion is. That is, in fact, what you are thinking is correct. That's what I'm saying. This point should never have come here. There should have been no clarification here, because logically, I am not selling bus to them when I'm sending the bus for repairs. Am I selling the bus to the workshop? Answer is no. But there were some people who are unnecessarily stretching the meaning of the law and trying to say that when you send the bus for repair, that is also, the bus is also taxable. No. In fact, your understanding is very correct, because logically, if you think you're not selling the bus, so why GST on that? Right? So Prashant Beda, you will get the link for joining the WhatsApp group. I'll request the technical team to share the link. You may join through the link, Beda. So, sir, if bus is actually sold, yes, if bus is sold, Vaishnavi, you are right. Then there will be GST on bus. This is what I'm saying. So when you are sending the bus to workshop, or when you are sending the bus from your one office to another, it is not sale. There is no GST. But when you are actually selling the bus, there is GST. Rishabh is saying, sir, please show how to download that. Rishabh, if you remember in the last class, which was income tax class, I had shown that, where I downloaded it from Google. Now here I'll show you from where I downloaded from our ICAI website. So I simply open this. Now this is the BOS portal. I simply type icai.org. Correct. Now in this, you can see different tabs. Now you'll have to know where you'll find this. You'll find this in resources. Correct. Now in resources, come here. Pre-download online publications. Now in this online publications, what you're looking at, let us say you're looking at income tax, go to direct tax committee. If you're looking at GST, come to indirect tax committee. Now here what you have background material, you have handbooks, you have technical guides and other publication. Click here. See what is there. You have GST Act bare rules. Last updated 20th/11/2025, the one which I'm showing you or which I'm using on the screen. Click here. Now it will ask you your name, your mobile number, user type. Now in user type, I always select member because I'm a CA, you will select student. The moment you select student, they will ask you your student code, that is your registration number. Please fill in all the details and submit. It is open and you can download it. Correct, beta? Is this clear to everyone? So those who ever wanted the WhatsApp group link or Telegram link, it has been posted. Kindly join using that link. Super. So see, so many publications, what our institute is having. See, this is only, I've clicked on one part. You click on this handbook. See, on independent issues which are there in GST, our institute is issuing the publication and also it is regularly revising. So the latest ones are here. See, the last one revised on 2nd of Jan. So latest. Very soon you'll have the updated acts and so many things. Correct? See, you go to background material, you have the entire GST law converted into a proper book. But this I will not recommend you to refer because this is required at the final level or by professionals. So I'll not recommend you. This is only part of one committee. And see, we have so many committees. And in every committee, you have so much of material. And most important part, everything is there free. You can download it by putting your student registration number. Right, students? Excellent. Excellent. It is levied, beta, Shahid beta, it will be levied only on transportation or not on the value of truck. You're not selling truck to anyone. Please understand this. You're using the truck for running the transportation service. So transportation service is covered under GST, but the value of truck, since you're not selling the truck to anyone, is not covered under GST, beta. Correct? Clear to all? Super. Super. So thank you, students. Thank you very much. It was a good discussion with you all. And I'm happy that I could add value, not only for GST, but for other things like how to use BERAC, from where, and how to refer BERACs, because this is going to be your future. You will have to refer BERACs yourself. And that is why I try to use the BERACs so that you also learn how to use the BERACs. Fine, students. So thank you. Take care. Good night. Yes, sir. Done from my side. Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.